What's up, guys? We are live from the Brojo for another episode of the Roshambros News. I am your host, Kien, and I'm here today with...
Zach.
Oh, yeah, what Eli said.
God.
There you go, that's my introduction.
Yeah.
That's my introduction for regular guy Zach. There you go, you got me.
You know, you're the one who's always been pushing to be like, we need to go live with this. And I'm like, not with that.
Usually we always start with Eli.
No. No, we don't.
No, we usually start with Kien because he's on that end, and then we work our way around.
Yeah.
But today we're kind of out of order.
It's in the
Which is more Kien's fault than anyone's. I'm
Why is
kidding,
it
I'm
my
kidding,
fault?
I'm kidding.
Gosh.
Usually I'm over where you are.
So that's Gil.
Silent Gil.
Now we're all introduced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just start introducing people. Fuck it.
I mean,
You're getting the titles I give you.
No,
goddamn.
Eli's just gonna start doing roll call. Just Gil, here.
They're gonna be racist.
Okay, no.
I'm not.
No.
No.
So
That would be
no,
terrible.
before we get into like the news and stuff, we just have a couple of announcements that are pretty fun. Monday, this comes out Tuesday, so our top 10 just came out. The top 10 gunslingers.
New show.
What?
New show.
Yeah. But I was gonna say Eli and Gil are the hosts of that now. So yeah, thumbs up to those guys.
The top
Pay
10.
raise.
The top 10, yeah.
New show is Zach's thing.
And then
I'm
Zach
getting
has.
paid
Is that
double
really a
my
show or is that
previous
just a
wage.
segment?
It's more of a show.
Because it's by itself, it's its own thing.
A segment would be in something
Like it's like
Oh,
we gave you a small segment in the podcast, but like because I'm like taking your voice and then putting stuff out, it's a show about
Alright.
Zach talking about stuff.
yeah.
So that comes out Friday. I'm a little excited for that one too. I'm excited for the top 10 gunslinger stuff. So
Well, he's a little excited for mine, but he's really excited for yours.
We've also got to do an award ceremony for Zach.
For what?
Best research. Give him a gold star.
Yeah.
Hang it on the fridge.
Did you hang it on the fridge?
No, I just
That's
threw it
disappointing.
upstairs on my desk with my Azula Roy Mustang research.
Did you put
Keeps
gold
his-
stars on them at least?
No.
I mean, it's probably good that he keeps it if he ever has to do another Avatar or Full Metal.
Well, I'm
Gear.
gonna have Gil take a look at the Azula Roy Mustang one.
I still disagree with you guys, but that's neither here nor there. Save it for a different
Anyways,
time.
go on.
it's very understandable. But now we're just gonna go hit the trailers now. And first trailer is Preacher.
I forgot what this was.
Season 3.
Season
Oh
3.
yeah, that's right.
Oh,
Which I thought it was canceled.
no. Lucifer got canceled.
Lucifer.
Okay, see, so Lucifer is like Preacher Light. They're both the weird thing
I
about
think
those.
Preacher is more weird than Lucifer.
Well, that's the thing. They're both under the DC Vertigo Comics title, and like when the show starts, they both show DC Vertigo. But Lucifer, because it's on a cable network, not cable, just regular network television, it's so subdued, and Preacher just goes balls off the wall with their shit. Like, there's this guy named Arseface who like tried to kill himself
Space.
and with a shotgun and blast his face.
It's a very literal name, Zach.
Yeah, he
I've
looks
never
like an
seen
ass.
any of
He's
these.
actually an ass instead of a face.
I've never seen this show at all.
I'm with him on that.
I've seen bits and pieces enough to make me think it's fucking stupid.
I enjoy it. I think
Which, yeah.
Season 3 coming at you.
it's very interesting, and I just really like. I guess it's because I like the Gareth Edwards Preacher's comics. Like, they're not gonna do half the shit they do in that comic because there's a lot of like really fucked up shit that you can't do on network cable.
All I
But,
know is that it was just a short little video, and it since I don't know any of the characters of this cast, it's just.
Yeah, it was just them in front of a burning something, wasn't it?
I mean, they looked like they were having a good time, so good for them.
Then we go into Axel.
Rose.
No,
No, I'm just kidding.
but also no to the movie because it
Axel
looks
F.
kind of dumb.
That's the one with the robotic
A
dog,
boy
isn't it?
meets a dog, and it's a robot this time, and
Yeah.
the government wants it. so-
Flies, and he's got a space helmet as a fucking bike helmet.
All I know is it's weird, and
It's supposed to be a kids movie.
I
I'm
have
pretty
no
sure
idea.
it's
Probably,
kids and young
yeah.
teens.
Okay.
I'm gonna say PG-13 at the most.
Okay.
Rated R.
The dog can become a ramp for his motorcycle. Extreme stunts, bro.
It just turns out he's just using it to win competitions with his bike.
Yeah.
Then we go into Sorry to Bother You. The
telemarketer one.
Yeah, it's the red band trailer version of it. And
The
Gil
black
was
guy.
never. Yeah, Gil was not here for the first time we talked about Sorry to Bother You.
A black guy with a white guy voice.
Black guy with a white guy voice. It's super interesting.
One of two of those movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Black
Klansman.
Klansman, yeah.
Klansman.
Like we were talking about last week, we were talking about like this is a good time for like just like mainstream Afrocentric movies where like people will
Give
actually.
me Black Dynamite too when you got yourself a good day.
They came out with the semi-sequel to Black Dynamite, but it was a western with Michael Jai White. But it was a blaxploitation western and had that same feel as Black Dynamite.
But it isn't. Did it have Black Dynamite?
It had Michael Jai White.
But did it have Black Dynamite?
He played the.
But did it have Black Dynamite?
The main character was like Black Dynamite, but not.
But was his name Black Dynamite?
I don't think so.
Then was it
Dale.
really Black Dynamite?
Kind
No.
of, yeah. But no, like I feel like this is again one of those movies that I really like the concept that like it's kind of a social concept of like people's voices that are like from ghettos and hoods sound more like aggressive, so that's why they have to change their voice to like, you know what I mean though? It's that weird concept that in general that people have with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Where like, hey guys, how's it going? Is less like
Hey, how you doing?
threatening and like so. So it's like, oh, yeah, that's understandable.
I don't know. He really doesn't change the way he answers he calls them though. He just changes his voice.
Yeah, but that does change a lot. I don't know. I'm really excited for both movies.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then we go to City of Lies.
Racial humor is kind of my thing.
I find it ironic though they're gonna release this movie after the Unsolved series on USA.
Oh, we're talking about the who knows? It's
So-
just
It looks, I don't know, decent. I figured it'd be something up your alley, Zach.
It kind of is because I watched the entire Unsolved series just because I thought it looked interesting.
is this just about
I'm pretty sure it's just, well,
LAPD.
Tupac was in it too. But
Okay.
They tried to make, again, they tried to say that the murders were connected somehow.
it's always weird to have
In the movie they did. Is
Anyway,
this
the
about
mo-
Russell Poole or is this
The
about...
movie's about the people trying to find corruption in the LAPD concerning the deaths of Biggie Smalls and Tupac.
Yep.
super interesting. I think that's one of those things. Then we go to Mowgli.
It's a thing.
I didn't watch this one on my time because I'm pretty sure
It was
it
the
would have
same
been the same
trailer
as
as
in the
the-
theater.
yeah.
We saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
When we went to see Solo, check out that review.
I don't like.
Oh yeah, we gotta do that. Yeah.
I
Check out
don't-
that review.
I don't like the Jungle Book. God damn it!
I like the
Let
cartoon.
me
one.
say it. No, I don't like
I've
that.
seen like half of it.
I don't like the cartoon. I don't fucking know about the book. If there is an actual, I'm imagining there's an actual.
There is a book.
Yeah.
There was an actual book.
No,
So
thank you.
this is
It's all dumb.
I like the interesting twist on it, I guess, where it's not like a happy-go-lucky kind of thing.
Animals are gonna die.
Yeah,
Was
I
the
mean,
first
killed.
Jungle Book that was before this one like that?
No.
It had a more realistic.
Yeah,
take
but
on
this
it,
is
but
its
that's-
own.
it was
This
live
is
action.
this isn't a Disney thing though. This is its own
Yeah.
Oh,
thing
okay.
because the Jungle Book isn't owned by Disney. Fun
Yeah.
fact: Disney, those movies Disney creates aren't technically owned by them.
They
the-
have copyrights for the
The copyrights of the characters'
themselves.
design.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not the
But
ca-
not the
like-
characters. They
yeah.
can't own that. That's
It's the
public domain.
design of the character, so that's why you don't see like
The characters themselves are public domain.
Yeah, a
That's
lot,
why.
of a lot of older stuff is public.
Right.
domain.
Same with some of the stuff from Marvel, because anybody can use Thor
Yeah,
and Loki.
right. But
And
they
Asgard.
can't. They can't
Use Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Well, I mean, they
Original
can't use
characters.
Jack Kirby's like. Marvel can sue if it looks too reminiscent of like Jack Kirby style artwork. Marvel can't sue just because someone made another comic book character named Thor that uses a hammer, because Thor uses a hammer.
Can't copy Beta Ray Bill though.
Poor Thor. But no, like.
And I'm hoping we get him in the next part of the
Right.
film.
The funniest thing about that copyright thing is that like, Disney is trying balls to the wall to get the copyrights to the 1938 Wizard of Oz movie because they've done adaptations of Wizard of Oz, but someone has sued them for the tint of green that Disney used.
For the Emerald
Yeah,
City.
for the Wicked Witch of the West. It's a certain
Oh.
green that was patented for the Wicked Witch of the West for the Judy Garland movie.
Oh.
And it's the ironic thing that Disney's being sued for this shit. Because Disney just sues everybody.
That's tasty.
I'd really pay to see a Nintendo Disney lawsuit. I just want to see who comes out on top of that bullshit.
Probably Nintendo.
Mario gets like a hat with like Mickey Mouse ears. And, like Nintendo, Disney's like, wait a minute.
But they're just regular mouse ears.
Yeah.
You can't pin it as specifically Mickey Mouse.
Alright, we'll pay you $1 million and we're gonna give you 30,000 DMC strikes. DMCA.
No, when he wears the mouse hat, he's like, let's go.
The best asshole. Oh god. That's the crossover we need, not rabbits.
Now I want to see this happen.
Alright, what's the next one?
Dallas and Robo.
Yeah,
this is the WWE YouTube Red exclusive series.
It looks it looks kind of funny, yeah.
I thought it looked funny. I don't even know who the fuck the girl is.
Kat Dennings, isn't that from Two Broke Girls?
Yeah.
And she's in Thor as well, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She plays the scientist assistant girl.
I don't know about that. She voiced someone in BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, she did.
That's where I knew it.
I'm really like this is
And
one
she
of those.
basically just voices the same character in the series. So.
This is another one of those things where like as I was rewatching this because like I had an epiphany where we're talking because like last week I had a 5-minute animation rant. Not a rant. I just like really didn't like the way the new Thundercats looked. But then I had that epiphany in my head after watching this and like watching other people be mad about like Thundercats and stuff like that, and people are like the animation sucks and everything. I'm like, but if it's good and funny and it does that stuff, does it really matter? You know, because like when you look back like at old school Dexter's Lab, there's a lot of actually reused animation throughout an entire episode.
I mean, generally that's true with all older cartoons. Those
Right,
walking cycles.
That's what I mean. Like, and that's one of the things. Is that like I look at this and I'm like, this is very crude animation, but I really, really enjoy it. I think it's really funny, and that's where I looked back on like rehearing my rant, and I started writing like an outline for like talking about how why do people hate the Cal art style of newer animation? There's a lot of people that are apparently hating the Cal art style, like the Steven Universe art style and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like Steven Universe's art style.
What?
I like Steven Universe's art style.
But like the thing that always bothers me is like when people are like all these animations look the same. They show these same pictures of them smiling and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at like classic Hanna-Barbera and even like look at like the way Dexter's dad, Professor Utonium, and Samurai Jack's jawline are shaped, it's all about the same. So like to me their arguments have always been invalid with that kind of when they talk about like this animation all looks the same now, but if you look back, there's tons of animation cues that always look the same and things like that.
I mean, that's the same thing with some characters. I mean,
Right.
people argue that the Simpsons, Homer, and Peter Griffin are the same. That's basically the same as Fred Flintstone, which is actually based off of like some character from the Honeymooners.
He is, yeah, no. But that's the thing, like...
Except without all the wife beating.
Yeah. Or threats of wife beating. He never did it.
Fair enough.
On screen.
On screen. But, no, but like the only reason I brought up, like...
Never
But like, no, that's the one thing, like, I brought this up, wanted to talk about this because like, that YouTube Red Paranormal Activity Buddies series that I talked about last week. Really bad animation. It's the one with Van Otten. It's really, really funny though, and I really find it interesting.
It's dependent more on the content than what the art style should look
Right,
like. That you
where
get out of
like
it.
where like the only reason I feel like I need to start making a retraction of last week's is because like it was just this pure weirdly unbridled rage that I had because I really did enjoy Thundercats.
Yes.
It wasn't until I saw someone make a video that blatantly did not do his research beforehand, but started to complain that like I posted this thing that had like they copied the Thundercats logo, the new Thundercats, but with Berserk because I thought that was really funny and I thought that was cool. And like the guy used that as a reference, and he thought that was the original concept, and that Thundercats took it.
Mhm.
And so he had this 5-minute like complaining about it, and then under his YouTube video he wrote the comment, "Oh, actually this is all wrong, like that's not the thing, here's the real thing." I'm like, but wouldn't you have the integrity to take it out? And then I realized that his stuff was monetized. So like,
He's not gonna lose out on that revenue.
no,
Why
that's
would
the
he?
thing. That's the thing that's shitty though. Like, but like where I stand
He's
in
doing
this, and
too.
like the reason that I then started to think about and research on like why I no longer give a shit about Cartoon Network is that it's for fucking children. And like, I'm sorry for anyone who's about to hear this and feel like I'm attacking you, but like Cartoon Network's main demographic
Has always
has been children. And so that's why people are mad, like, why is it only 15-minute long intervals? I'm like, because children's attention span cannot go past, like...
Dexter's Laboratory was usually broken up into 3
to-
different segments.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's what I mean. Like, that's why they're like, but Dexter's Laboratory was like 22 minutes. Like, but like, that's the thing. Like,
It was segmented anyway.
yeah, and even within Dexter's Laboratory, and even in another example...
The only series that they actually have as one whole long show are the ones that they're aimed at older audiences, like Teen Titans and Samurai Jack.
Right. But that's the thing, like, people are like, why are they rebooting this shitty cartoon? And I was like, because it's not for you, it's for someone else. That's the difference to why Samurai Jack went to Adult Swim for his final season instead of going to Cartoon Network. Because Cartoon Network is actually based towards small children. Like, there are shows you can like on Cartoon Network, that's perfectly fine. But at the end-all, be-all goal, it is not...
For the man children,
It is not-
or the people that
yeah.
grew up with it. It is for the
We're
children.
the children there.
Yeah.
Like, when someone complained about, like, here's my thing. Like, I seriously still don't like Teen Titans Go just because I don't like the writing and I don't like...
Yeah, and there's no value to that show.
There's no value to me. But my thing is, like, I hate this because they ruined Teen Titans' serious tone. And I went back to Teen Titans and there was seriously a fucking episode where Robin gets kidnapped by Mothman so he can go to prom with his daughter. And I'm like, alright.
There's also, they actually recopied an episode of Teen Titans, which is hilarious. It's the one where Beast Boy gets a job at a burger place.
Right.
See, it turns out everything is tofu.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing where, like, I feel like people jump the gun on the whole, like, they're ruining my childhood. It used to be so cool.
I mean, there were very serious
Everything's cool when
episodes.
you're a kid.
Yeah. Like, Transformers, like, I will be the first to admit that, like, when I was a kid, I thought the 80s Transformers was, like, the most in-depth, cool shit-ass story. And then you rewatch it and you're just like, nope, they're just marketing these cars because, like, Starscream, there's like 16 different Starscreams with different colors, and I thought, like, oh, they have a whole lore, and it's like, nope, that's not it at all.
I mean,
Still
technically
what it
they
is.
do have lore to back up those toys,
Yeah.
because they're like, we want this kid to buy it, but we want him to make it, we want to make him think like it's different.
Yeah. Like,
Now he's green, and it's because this isn't the guy you thought it was at all.
it's his brother.
Enrique!
Yeah. Enrique Starscream. No, but...
Enrique Street.
But no, that's where I like. So like, what I want to say, I just wanted to make a retraction from my rant last week because
I need to hear some of this stuff. I haven't gone through some.
it wasn't a bad rant. It was like actually originally I just started making fun of the way the guy looked. Like I wasn't making fun of his animation process. We just kind of said he looked.
I don't
kinda...
think we recorded that part though.
Oh yeah, maybe we didn't.
No, I think that was just when we were watching it.
Right,
No,
but
You were making fun of his ponytail.
No, yeah, we made fun
You
of his
guys recorded
ponytail.
that. You guys recorded that.
no, you laughed too. Don't fucking.
Yeah, I laughed, but I didn't say anything.
Don't be so like I'm the good guy. And
I'm not saying I'm the good guy.
No,
'cause I
but
laughed at the jokes.
the only reason
Oh,
I want to
okay.
make that retraction is because then I started to watch other people and realized that, like, man, people just literally don't do their research on this shit before complaining about stuff. So, like, I feel like I want to make a retraction of what I said.
Well, I'm
now
not
are you gonna
like-
research it and do a rant?
What?
Now are you gonna research it and then do a rant?
No, I'm not mad. Like I
Doesn't
said,
affect him.
no,
Doesn't affect
it's
him.
not even. It's not
He
even that
watches
whole.
the first episode and then
It has
we'll
nothing to
it.
do with my whole doesn't affect me. Like I know personally why 22-minute interval. Like I know why Teen Titans got the green lit over Young Justice season 3 on Cartoon Network. Kids don't want to watch 22-minute intervals like complete stories like that. Unfortunately, that's very
A
true.
majority
Yeah.
don't. And that's what they're marketing for,
Right.
the majority.
And Young Justice really wasn't marketable for toys and shit like that. Teen Titans and stuff, Teen Titans Go, these Thundercats, they're gonna be marketable as fuck.
Plushes,
Yeah, like,
especially because they're cats and they're small.
right. And the thing about, like, the Steven Universe thing, like, granted, maybe it's not the children that are buying these, like, plushes. They are the man-children that are, like, buying these plushes. I'm not dogging on you at all. Like, I know you're wearing your Steven Universe belt right now. If I'm...
Yes, I am, but
Yeah.
that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
We don't talk about
I
it.
have no
about it.
hatred. Like, I
I
like
just
Steven...
enjoy the show.
Yeah, I do. I really enjoy Steven Universe a lot, and I like the references to anime and stuff like that. Where I can respect that show because to me that's a homage to like classical Japanese anime magical girl genre, but it's flipped a little because it is basically a magical girl genre, but it's not because he's a dude.
Well, I just see it as a good show.
It is a good show, but like
Great writing too.
right, and that's why I just wanted to, sorry this got on, but like I just really do want to like put that apology of a retraction for what I said because I feel like.
Can we do something though? Can we cut this apology out and make it its own video?
Maybe.
Because editing.
Yeah. Because Harrison Ford has seen Solo the Star Wars movie twice and called the director Ron Howard to rave about how much he enjoyed the spinoff.
Is it because he didn't have to be in it?
I thought it was good, so I don't.
It was good.
It was good. It was.
I mean,
honestly, even if you think it's worse than like the prequels or the original trilogy, you gotta think Disney-wise. Like compare it to the other Disney movies.
it's the best they've had so far.
It's the less social justice warrior Disney movie Star Wars as.
Don't know if I'd call it the best, but it's either that or Rogue One.
Hey, then
I go with Rogue One.
I like Rogue One, but I really liked how this
I don't
one...
like Rogue One because the SG format that they have, because they have a female lead.
Oh, okay,
No.
you're joking.
No,
was
I
like,
thought
what
you were
the fuck
being
are
serious.
talking about? No, but
they all die anyway.
yeah, no, but I did really like that this is really disconnected from Star Wars in terms of like the main series. It's like, yeah, there's just no Jedi, no Sith, none of that shit, no magic force powers.
I
Just
mean,
a
there
lot
was
of-
the Empire.
There's like, yeah, well,
Yeah, but there's no one force slapping him.
even
It's just a bunch of
No,
guns
even
and
the-
explosives.
but even the Empire, even the parts where he's in the military, like you don't see any like stormtroopers except the one on the bike in the beginning who gets like knocked off when he's trying to chase him.
No, there were a bunch of storm.
Spoilers, by the
you
way,
mean
I guess.
No, you see stormtroopers in the
Trailer.
Yeah, in
not
the airport.
In the airport.
Yeah, I know, but like you don't see that many. It's not
Right.
like when they're fighting, they have stormtrooper-esque armor, but it's not.
Yeah,
that.
because they're air troopers, aren't they? They're like
I don't know.
Paratroopers?
Because he said he got kicked out of the
right,
Navy.
but I think they're the equivalent. I thought
The
those
Flight
were the,
Academy.
Yeah, I thought those were the equivalent.
He said he got kicked out.
I know. I just thought those were that armor was the equivalent to paratroopers. Maybe I was wrong.
They're ground troops. They're mooks.
Yeah, I thought he was just army.
Right, but
Infantry.
Point is that I really liked it.
It was
So
good.
I agree with Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
so they shooting the original Solo movie. The original director reported to be fired because they were making too many risks to the approach. Lord and Miller's idea was they wanted a Guardians of the Galaxy-esque Han Solo film, and I'm really kind of glad they didn't do that.
That would have pissed me off. I don't like the Frank Miller Guardians of the Galaxy.
So I'm glad that they didn't go with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, I'm glad they
storytelling.
went with their own fucking thing. They weren't like, we're gonna copy this successful theory and then just keep doing it. It's like we're gonna make a team of people in space. And they're gonna find something big and bad and stop it. It's like, oh, no, I don't really wanna see
Defenders of the stars.
God damn it.
Defenders of the stars. with wars.
Protectors of the universe.
Anyway.
That's their spin-off with Luke, Leia, and like for some reason they find a Walkman.
No, a Walkman?
Yeah, like they just
Oh,
find a
yeah.
Walkman in
Yeah.
space.
They have an Ewok on their team though
Yeah.
to appeal to children.
but that Ewok can talk.
Yeah,
And
it's
he
just
badmouths everybody.
Yeah.
got guns.
And then
shit.
that's Chewbacca and him are now friends, and it's not Han Solo and Chewbacca anymore. That's the team.
He's Solo, because it's Solo. A Star
I'm going
Wars
to hit
story.
I can hit you. You remember that?
Oh no!
You
like,
agreed.
In general, like I'm really glad. That I think that's like. I'm really after like because we had that conversation with Jay about like there's videos on how Star Wars is like super liberal, like becoming super liberal.
Only if you let it be.
Right, and
Could
like,
give a fuck.
By the way, quick question: did we go through all the trailers already?
yeah,
There weren't that
Continue.
many.
there's more video game trailers.
Yeah, it is majority video.
But like that's the one thing that like blows my mind though is that like this is the Han Solo movie was such a nice change to like I don't like the new trilogy and like I just would prefer if they just did standalone movies instead of new trilogies
Yeah.
and just shape
I don't
the
mind
universe.
a trilogy if it's an actually original trilogy.
Instead of just copying the originals.
Yeah, and
Lando.
I don't even mind that so much. It's just that like the current trilogy had a first movie that was like it was shaky for some people. I liked it, but then in the second movie they were like, all right, fuck basically everything in the first one.
Yeah.
We're just moving on with new ideas. It's like, oh, fantastic.
You don't like I'm gonna say spoiler, but it's already on the DVD. You don't like this person? Okay, bye. You don't
like this. By the way, I will spoil basically halfway point. You don't like the main villain? Well, he's not the man he used to be. He's half of the man he used to be.
Great, Gil. Good job. Proud of you. No, but like it's just actually, did you know like what a lot of people's problem was with the first one?
The fact
Finn is black and Rey was a woman.
Oh yeah, I did forget about that. That was a thing.
Yeah.
My main complaint with the first one was that she basically masters the Force in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But I could
Which
just
they retract that back though in The Last Jedi though.
See, I don't care about all that, but in The Last Jedi, they're just like, alright, kill off everyone who's not a new character, get them the fuck out of here, we don't want them to be in here anymore. And then also, fuck these new characters, you don't care about them.
Yeah, basically.
Yep.
And Poe Dameron apparently is innocent, so.
He's what?
No.
I mean, when you're part of the Rebel Alliance, can they even afford to court-martial a
No, they cannot. But like that dude
just like, fuck, he
that
knows
dude
how to fly
fucking
ships.
yeah, I know, but like when
We can't really
not now, but like as it was going, you're like, yeah, you should get your ass court-martialed, and all of a sudden, 3/4 of the people are dead.
And I guess you're back in.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wait, you got promoted again. Good
She
job.
died, so you're Admiral.
No, it just blows my mind that like that was like a big thing that people were. The two things that people were mad about before Star Wars: The Force Awakens came out: Kylo Ren's hilted lightsaber, and Rey and Finn being main characters because it's a woman and a black guy.
Oh man. Well, I mean, black guys are rare in space apparently.
They really are.
Apparently. But like no, I love.
that Lando movie.
Yeah. Have you read the I gotta show you a video on like someone talking about like why Star Wars: The Force Awakens is a feminist propaganda.
Oh.
It's so funny.
I mean, with the robot. Oh wait, no, never mind. You're talking Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Solo with the robot. I was like, kind of, but
I think it was more just like they thought it would be. They liked that other robot, and that robot was like human, so they're like, let's make it more human, and it just didn't work. But Lucasfilm is planning to make more Star Wars spin-offs. They're currently developing many different projects, and one of them being the Boba Fett solo film, not Han Solo.
The Boba Fett
standalone film with director James Mangold from Logan.
Are they gonna let it be rated R? Because this is Disney. I don't know. I'm very afraid.
I think that would actually do really well since it's Boba Fett. He's a bounty hunter.
That would be
just killing fools, icing people.
I think it would be really. It would depend on the time period they did it.
He's still a boy growing into a man.
They already did that though in Clone Wars.
Yeah. Clone
They
Wars
had him a boy.
and also I think Rebels did they?
I didn't
I
really
don't
watch
think
Rebels
so.
that
I
much.
thought he was in that. A little
Cad Bane with the Cad Bane story. Actually, you know,
Those awkward teenage years of a
Right.
fat.
but my thing is, I kind of want it to be right after Return of the Jedi, and he's like rocketing out of the Sarlacc pit. He's like, "Whew,
Glad I didn't die here.
yeah."
Gets blown back into it about a year later.
No, it's just immediately as the
He
HUD
gets
is-
up to the top and escapes. Somebody shoots him down.
I was gonna say
Or-
when the HUD explodes, his jetpack malfunctions. He
The
just falls right
Boba
back
Fett Star Wars Christmas story that they told during the Star Wars Christmas special.
in. Hold on a
Where
second, what?
Boba Fett
No.
teams up with Chewbacca because Han Solo and Luke are incapacitated, and then Boba Fett's actually there to kidnap Han Solo, and Chewbacca stops him by kicking his jetpack, and he flies into the wall. That's a legit thing that happened.
That's
To
a
be
thing
fair,
that exists.
they always, in most medias, they show jetpacks as unreliable. And just
I
like
know,
a
but it's
simple
just
hit.
non-canonicalness of that now, where it's just like, I want to see that. Yeah, that'd be fun. And like,
Oh, boy.
so Solo the Star Wars story production is probably the biggest reported budget. It's the most expensive in the franchise. It costs more than The Force Awakens.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually surprises me.
I'm thinking
Actually-
it's because of the loss of directors.
Big-
A loss of the directors.
Yeah.
A loss
Special effects.
special effects. Well, that's the thing. I think it was more like, I feel like they had to rehire a new director. Paul Bettany Vision wasn't originally in that character spot. It was someone else.
Didn't he
So
have- who said he had to beg to get that spot last night? Gil did?
Yeah.
Okay.
He wanted to be a villain really bad, so he begged. I think, if I remember right, I have to check that.
Damn good job though.
right. So like the idea is that like that's one of the ideas, I guess, is where they talk about that kind of stuff. So like, I mean, I thought it was a good movie for what it was. I really liked the cast and characters. I thought they were super interesting.
This is just our review now.
Right, no, sorry. But then we go into there's hints that Admiral Thrawn is going to be in the Obi-Wan standalone film.
I need to watch Rebels. Because, well, no, since he's in that, I really like Thrawn, which
You just have to see the last season. then.
if anyone knows anything about Thrawn, they'll probably know that he's a pretty well-liked character among people who know him. He's kind of like a Darth Maul, fucking Boba Fett type character, where it's just like he's just kind of a fucking uncaring badass at what he does, and therefore people are just like, man, he's fucking awesome. I don't know.
I don't
But-
give a shit. Neither
But
does
since he was in Rebels, that means they changed his character a little bit. I don't know how. I also it does kind of set the time period for the Obi-Wan movie though.
Anthony and Joe Russo's Avengers Infinity War earns $300 million in China to become the Marvel Cinematic Universe's top-grossing film in China. That's really impressive, though. Like, I didn't think that like China would leave that down for Avengers, I guess.
Why wouldn't they?
Because like Iron Man 3, like they had a lot of Chinese influence, and it was like one of the lowest rated Marvel movies. So like I had no idea that they were still into it. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, there have been a lot more movies since Iron Man.
Yeah, I was gonna be like Iron Man
Yeah.
3's been a while.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. That means we're gonna have more Avengers, guys. Yeah.
And that was
If
gonna
it didn't-
happen even if it sold nothing in China.
Yeah. Just domestically, just punch
Yeah.
the shit out of everyone. Except for Deadpool, because Deadpool beat it out this week at the box office.
Yep.
I heard about that.
Which is understandable because that was in there for like 4 weeks though, before Deadpool came out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the saturation of that. Like numerous people have already seen Avengers, like that's how they win. But Han Solo, I feel like Solo is gonna take over Deadpool's box office.
I
spot.
don't think so.
I think it will though because it's a PG-13 movie and more easily accessible to people.
Don't, Because I think a lot of people have probably wrote this off.
Well, I
You
mean,
have to remember, Deadpool is also now a
Could-
pop culture icon.
yeah, but
Because honestly, I had wrote Solo off like when you were like, "Yeah, we're still going to the movie," and I was like, "What fucking movie?" And it was like Solo, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a movie that's coming out." Fuck.
well, I mean, it beat Avengers, which is a PG-13 movie.
But again, Avengers were in there for a long enough time where saturation kicks in. Sales and saturation kicks in because, like, if you make your money at the box office and you hit number 1 in your first week, that's really good. But afterwards, it'll start waning off because of the fact that it's like, by the end of it, most people have seen that movie. Or that are going to see that movie.
I see what you say, but I don't really give a shit.
So Michael Keaton is reprising his role as the Vulture for the sequel to Spider-Man: Homecoming,
I prefer if he came back as the Batman.
and Jake Gyllenhaal.
Gyllenhaal.
Whatever, Zachary.
It is Gyllen.
Whatever, I don't really care.
Okay.
He's apparently in talks to play Mysterio.
A villain. Not specified. People think it's Mysterio.
A villain, but the specification is Mysterio,
Mysterio.
which would be fucking awesome because I love Mysterio.
Get him that fishbowl helmet and we
Just
got
turn-
ourselves a movie.
Just turns out it's Rey Mysterio, not Mysterio.
Do you know what actual Mysterio looks like, Zach?
Yeah, I do know what he looks
Okay,
like.
I was gonna be like nothing like Rey Mysterio.
Unless Rey Mysterio just comes out wearing a fishbowl on his head.
Did you ever hear about like the early 2000s controversy with Mysterio? Is that like Kevin Smith was writing Daredevil and like Mysterio was being used in both the Amazing Spider-Man run and this Kevin Smith Daredevil, and Kevin Smith didn't tell anyone that he was gonna kill off Mysterio, and so he kills off Mysterio at the end of his run while the Amazing Spider-Man run of Mysterio is still going on. So Marvel's like, dude, what the fuck? Like, how do you make this canonical? Because like they were supposed to technically be in the same canonical universe, and like there was this whole law dispute that I think Kevin Smith got sued or something about something like that. It just I was like, I never want to work for comic books ever.
You know what would be really funny? If that thing was off the whole time.
What?
The
The
mic.
mic.
Is it?
No.
Oh.
I'm messing with you. I'm saying it would be funny.
I was actually thinking that when I
Yeah,
came back
was
from the
So
bathroom.
confused.
I was like, why is it not blue?
Anyway.
We had this conversation.
I know.
What's next?
And then I remembered.
Stan Lee says he envisioned someone exactly like Tom Holland
First Spider-Man.
for Spider-Man. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause
that's
he's
what
making
fucking
money.
everybody says.
Good job, Stan Lee. Woo.
Way to hop on the bandwagon.
A new rumor does state, though, Michael B. Jordan might return as Killmonger for Black Panther 2.
No, just let him be dead.
He looks pretty dead to me.
Yeah.
I feel like
No,
maybe...
they'll bring him back in spirit.
Like, I feel like it's like a flashback.
Fuck, no, you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
It's,
actually.
it's all the previous Black Panthers
Yeah.
that he sees. He's fucking right. God damn it.
He's gonna come
Yeah,
out and be
see,
like, what up?
I
What's
don't
up,
think
dude?"
he's gonna be
was-
in the
He
in the
was the
spirits.
Black Panther for a while, and then
Yeah.
Tell Auntie I say hey.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
auntie. So no, he's like he has his toothpick that he had in the while he was just looking. He's like he's still like, "Sup, cuz? What you need? You need some
God.
spirit stuff." He's like, "No."
You stay
But
over there, buddy.
the other-
not our way.
The other rumor is Donald Glover could be playing the villain in Black Panther 2, which is weird because you never saw Spider-Man: Homecoming, but Donald Glover was in Spider-Man: Homecoming playing another character,
Yep.
What characters?
Miles Morales' uncle.
I mean, we've done a decent explanation of how that'd be possible. That's his introduction as a villain.
Yeah.
Right, that
I
could
was gonna
be.
be like, if he's
And then
still,
they're gonna
it's
throw
gonna-
Miles in there to help combat his
It's
own
gonna
uncle.
be. It's gonna
Yeah,
be.
But they don't. I don't think they're gonna
Strange.
do the Miles thing because
Yeah,
Miles has
they're
is
kids.
his own.
It's-
Well, he's already into the Spider-Verse. Oh, that's another.
That's an
thing.
animated.
Right,
one,
I know,
rather
but I
than-
feel like
they're not
that's
counted
what
as
the-
his MCU.
I know, but I think they're not gonna. I don't think the MCU is gonna use him for a while because I think that they want to push him.
I
as
also
an
don't think they'll
animated
use him for a
Spider-Man.
while.
It's gonna
Whereas-
be good.
Okay.
I was just gonna make some dumb comment, but go ahead.
No. Say. It.
I was just gonna say it's gonna be Michael B. Jordan, Donald
dumb.
Glover, and Kendrick Lamar as the three villains in Black Panther. Because
The
Kendrick
Father,
Lamar
the
said he
Son,
wanted
and
to
the
be
Holy
one.
Spirit.
Oh my God! They can make a music video called "This Is Wakanda."
Oh God, that'd actually be pretty dope.
No, like
Yeah,
it would be.
the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
It'd be super interesting to see Donald Glover being a villain. Like, Donald Glover killed it as Lando, so I kind of want to see just Donald Glover do something different. Like, I think I showed Zach Donald Glover as Teddy Perkins.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Oh, man. So, in the TV show Atlanta, there's an episode called Teddy Perkins, where it basically plays Michael Jackson. So Donald Glover was in whiteface the entire episode. He does not look like Donald Glover at all.
At all.
It's crazy good.
Or sound like him either.
It's crazy good.
Oh god.
It's crazy. You gotta watch the episode to just understand how like weirdly good it is, but it's fucked up good. Because there's a fucked up twist at the end, and basically watch Atlanta, guys.
Wait the whole time?
No. No.
Dun, dun, dun.
Wait,
The
he was actually
description-
Donald Glover the whole time?
So they're actually still going on with the Morbius the Living Vampire spin-off for the Spider-Man universe that Sony is making by itself, which still makes no sense because you don't have Spider-Man. But
They'll
does that
use
work?
Miles Morales.
no. What?
They'll just beat Donald Glover.
How does that work? We're gonna create a Spider-Verse without a Spider-Man.
Venom's
They're
gonna
not
be
calling
their
it the
Spider-Man.
Spider-Verse, but they're using Spider-Man characters to make their.
They could use Spider-Woman.
That's
No, they
true.
can't. That's actually owned by Marvel.
I'm not surprised.
Spider-Woman was her own different character.
Yeah.
The only reason why Spider-Woman was made is so DC couldn't take it, because like DC and fucking Marvel always did this bitch ass thing. Like that's why Marvel has Power Man and Luke Cage, and so DC made Power Girl. So DC had Wonder Woman, so Marvel made Wonder Man. So when Spider-Man became popular, Marvel's like, fuck, no, we got to patent this shit. No one's gonna touch this.
Forgot about Wonder Man.
And then they made
Sweet
Spider-Woman, and then DC's like, fine, fuck you, we'll make Black Spider. He's basically Spider-Man if he was a thief. And that's literally how that happened.
No one knows Black Spider.
No.
Yeah,
I assure you.
you're the
do.
only one.
But like, here's the thing that gets me about the Morbius the Vampire thing, though, is that like it's an action horror movie, and they said it's going to be their first full-length action horror movie, which makes no sense because that's what they said about Venom.
Isn't
Yeah.
going to be,
Yeah. So then that just makes me feel like Venom isn't going to be this like grandiose like horror movie that they were talking
It might
about.
be more of a horror thriller.
If they're making, I also think it will be, but if they're making a Spider-Verse of just villains, they need to include the one
Kraven.
hunter.
Great.
Craven.
Kraven, yeah.
I think that their
I
main.
just kept wanting to call him Kratos. and it's
Their,
like,
I think the
Kratos
idea.
the hunter.
I think the idea though is that the MCU wants to use Kraven for something else.
I'll kill you, boy.
Because like a lot of the original rumors for Donald Glover was going to be talks into it is that Black Panther would be facing Kraven the Hunter,
I can see that.
makes a lot of sense because I would actually be down to see that.
Yeah, that's fine.
I thought his ultimate prey was Spider-Man, though.
I mean,
His ultimate prey is any metahuman,
yeah,
just because they're at peak.
Mm.
yeah,
physicality.
any superhuman,
Yeah.
basically.
So the Blob?
No,
Well,
I
the
think he's
Blob-
also fought the Hulk once, and when he had like Jaguar DNA.
the Blob is a fucking mutant. I think that's different.
Yeah.
It depends on what you count as superhuman. It's like some of the mutants have some pretty tame powers. So it's like, oh man, I killed a regular person pretty much.
There's a
me.
there's a legit mutant that once had an ability that Google Translate does now. He's like,
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, what's his name?
Linguist?
No.
no, it's near something like that, but like
It's like code something. maybe.
he's able to like but it takes like hours for him to decipher like an entire page.
It's not Codebreaker, is it?
No,
That
it's-
seems dumb.
Mm-mm.
Give me a second.
You know, you say that seems dumb, but there's a legit mutant called Elixir that all he does is touches you and heals you.
Most of them are dumb, Kien.
That's useful though.
I don't like the mutants. I like Wolverine exclusively when he's not part of the X-Men.
X-Men.
Because it's like, man,
Cypher.
Cypher, yeah,
what
that's
it is. I
right.
knew it was a C word.
Like, mutants with stupid powers is just amazing.
There's a guy that literally has 2 maggots living inside
I mean,
his stomach.
Cypher was
That's his mutant power.
Cypher was a little better than Google Translate. He could pick up dead languages.
It
Oh,
is
yeah,
in
that's
languages too.
and alien shit, but like, yeah, it's still just dumb. It's not. Yeah, I don't get how you mutated to that either.
Just
Your
transforms
brain
into a
becomes
computer.
hardwired for all languages.
Who the fuck knows? But it's just like, that's always been my thing. And Woody Harrelson confirms he's appearing in a small role in Venom, but teases he's going to return in the movie and if it gets a sequel. So basically, he's teasing he's Carnage. Teasing he's Carnage.
I don't know, do you think
Woody Harrelson
could
was
be
in,
Carnage?
Yeah.
I feel like Carnage was more of a younger, crazier fella.
I don't
That's
think
what I was
so. I don't
thinking,
picture him like that.
I
I picture him
Cassidy?
because he was in jail for a fucking long ass time.
Cassidy's still a little younger than Brock.
Yeah, I thought he was. I agree with Gil, but also I do think Woody
I don't
Harrelson
think
could
he
do a
was.
good job
I think
as
he
him.
was older.
I don't.
I always thought he was younger.
Yeah.
Comic book ages are very
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, it doesn't really matter. Point is, I think Woody Harrelson can do a good job as him.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I won't write it off.
This is funny.
Yeah.
The original Justice League director Zack Snyder reveals he had nothing to do with the movie's strange subplot, including the Russian family.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
The fucking subplot where Flash just saves the truck of the Russian family.
And
And
Superman
Superman's
saves
bringing
everyone
a
else.
fucking apartment.
Yeah, which would, break and kill everyone, but then it'd be super fucked.
Oh man, I'm really like hoping the post Justice League movies are good, and they just don't do Justice League
They won't
again.
be. They won't be.
Ah.
They will not be.
We'll see about that.
Hashtag Shazam.
Nope.
I hope
Captain
that one
Marvel, thank
fails
you.
the most.
I don't think it. I will bring him, give him my money though. I'm just.
I mean, I probably will too. I'll even see the second Wonder Woman when it comes out, despite not having seen the first one.
Well, I'll tell you about the first Wonder Woman. It broke barriers, Eli. It was the best DC movie DC has ever had.
Well, it didn't break the barrier into my fucking wallet. I wasn't having it.
Didn't you guys see Wonder Woman twice?
No,
We only
saw
saw
it
once.
You saw it once, okay.
It
I
wasn't
don't
worth
remember.
going a second time.
I just didn't go because of timing. I just didn't have time to go.
It just,
I still want to watch it.
right. It's.
Like, I'd take the first original Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie 100 times more than I would do that one a second time.
You don't like Spider-Man? The first
do.
Spider-Man from Sam Raimi?
I'm saying it's older. Most people would consider it lesser than Wonder Woman.
What?
People would, just because of age.
I considerably actually don't like the Sam Raimi's movies as much.
You garbage.
No, I mean,
Jeez.
the
Why didn't you
Spider-Man
put on
movies.
an accent? Yeah.
Oh,
You
well,
garbage.
Fuck you.
Like
Those are the first two are
The
like,
quintessential.
I like
Spider-Man.
Spider. I like the
Solid
first
gold.
Spider-Man movie, but I don't like the second Spider-Man movie.
That's the one everyone loves.
I don't get why everyone
No,
loves
the
it.
first two are like they're fucking rock solid. Then the third one's a little shaky, but it's still good.
That's what I said. Like I don't. I think where my opinion is, I think 2 and 3 are about the same because their villains are both meh.
Yeah, but to be fair, Homecoming, from what I know, I still haven't seen Homecoming. Is like I don't think a lot of people really give a shit about the Vulture.
Because I don't think it was really the Vulture story. It was just more about Peter growing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was a fucking starting story. It's like think of Iron Man. It's like no one gave a shit about the villain in that.
Obadiah Stane, yeah, no one gave a shit about Iron Man. No, but that's my thing. Where,
I'm bigger Iron Man.
but that's where I think that's my thing though. Whereas like you gave a shit about the Green Goblin in the first movie. I think the other two movies they tried to make you give a shit about Otto Octavius because he lost his wife, and then they tried to make you give a shit about Thomas Hayden Church because he has a daughter.
I remember. Okay, so yeah, that's I don't care about fucking
Sandman.
yeah Sandman really, and they tried to loop it back around to I killed your uncle too.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
But
thing that also gets me. I think that
but
was
I
the
did
stupid
like
subplot.
I remember Doc Ock better than the Green Goblin or any of the other fucking.
Really, I
villains.
remember the Green Goblin the best because he was like my favorite like villain like ever.
Yeah.
He's just a badass to me. Plus, I thought his glider was sick. So
But
Yeah.
the new Goblin, though, in Spider-Man 3.
shut the fuck up.
I just thought it was dumb that I was like, how is this regular man fighting this fucking
He also had superhumans.
I know, but I didn't know.
I
as
like
a
Blue
kid.
Goblin's glider though. I actually
Anyway.
really like that one.
As part of Disney's continued campaign to have Marvel dominate the world, an Australian sports arena just got renamed Marvel Stadium with a
Why?
picture of a gladiator Thor fighting Hulk.
Why?
I fucking hate Thor Ragnarok.
Eli's not going in that
Around
anytime
there.
soon.
Why?
Hell, if
Eli?
anything, they have Thor's hammer on that bitch. It's a hate symbol these days.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, for
Where's
white
Thor?
supremacists.
It's a hate symbol.
They're big on the,
They're big on the Norse culture sometimes.
yeah. How does that make you feel? Does that make you uncomfortable?
It makes me super pissed off, mostly.
Is that why they
Because
got
for
rid of
as
his
much
hammer?
fucked up stuff as I say, I'm not a white supremacist, and I'm not okay with them appropriating my culture.
Is that why they got rid of his hammer
What do you
in the
mean?
movies?
No. I mean, they gave him a hammer back.
I thought that was...
Stormbreaker.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's a hammer axe combo.
Yeah, I thought it was an axe.
It is kind of both.
It's
I don't know.
convoluted, that's what it is.
Beta Ray.
Not
Blues
really.
Anyway.
It's just a standard weapon.
No, that's not why they got rid of it. It's been a hate symbol for quite some time, since before the first Thor movie came out. So
okay.
it's more of like a classic Norse mythology Thor hammer being a hate symbol rather than like
Mjolnir.
Marvel Thor, which is
Oh,
basically
okay.
just a block on a stick.
So, Clerks 3 is dead in the water, Kevin Smith says, but he can still revive the script as a comic book sometime down the road. This is where I stand with creators who just can't let go of the fucking past.
You mean all of them?
What?
You mean all of them?
Kevin Smith is like super like on this shit though. He's like, guys, do you remember Chasing Amy? I'm gonna try that again.
Dragon Ball Super.
Didn't work.
I'm confused.
Yeah, no,
What
I
are
can
we talking
understand
about?
that. Yeah, it is a marketing cash grab. Same thing with that new Dragon Ball anime that they're making, the Dragon Ball Heroes one, because their base initial art is Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku, as in to end the debate of all debates of which power up is stronger, and it's like, sure, whatever.
I'm confused. What the fuck are we talking about?
Kevin Smith is trying to revive, like, Kevin Smith became famous with Clerks, this movie from the 90s about, it's
Clerks.
dark humor, combination of dark humor and working at a working at like a gas station.
Sounds like something I'd enjoy.
Yeah, it actually is very good. And
Isn't
then
it more of just like a convenience store?
yeah, convenience. Yeah,
Same thing.
it's the process of just working in a retail outlet of some sort, and it's just like they just give them there's these linked stories throughout the day which aren't really linked for the most part, and then they tried to do with Clerks 2 and it just kind of ruined it, and then Kevin Smith then tried to like make all his movies into his own expanded universe that like the bridging point is Jay and Silent Bob is in all of his movies, so it was like, see, Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back is that combination point, because like everyone that was in those Boo Skew movies beforehand all showed up at the end to watch the Jay and Silent Bob movie. See, guys, it's all connected. And I'm like,
What other movies has he done?
Chasing Amy, Dogma, Clerks 1, Clerks 2, Mallrats, which is my favorite of all the movies, because that one really spoke to me. Because like, fucking
You were a mall rat?
well, Mallrat, like back in the day when like the we had shit to do in our mall. That's what we did in high school, is just dick around and like get piss off the janitors and stuff like that.
So not really much of anything, but you called it something.
The fuck was that?
That was like 8 years ago.
What?
It's about a
There's
decade.
never
had
been
nothing
anything
to
to
do
do in
with
that
that.
mall
Yeah.
ever.
We had
Did you live somewhere else?
we had the pretzel maker and shit still. We had other shit in there and stuff.
That
Oh
was the
God, you
big
had a
selling
food
point.
court.
We had the pretzel maker, Quiznos. We had
Oh yeah, Quiznos was there.
we had Quiznos.
Remember that time they used to sell CDs and video games in our mall?
Yeah.
That's
In
same
Spencer?
goodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good lord, that must have been before my time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
well, no,
Well, I
you
mean,
were-
me and Zach was basically
Yeah.
the same age, but I just didn't come to Spencer a lot to go to the mall.
I missed that.
I played outside because I lived in the country, fuckers. Get on
I
my
mean, so
level.
did I.
Other than-
Oh my God, Expendables 4 is coming out,
Fucking
guys.
Really?
You all like country
Yeah.
boys.
Oh.
I feel like we talked about this, and I just now remembered that that's a thing.
No, we
Either-
talked about the new Sylvester Stallone Dave Bautista movie.
No, but I mean, I'm talking a while ago. I think I might have joked about Expendables. or
Yeah,
something
probably.
dumb. Like at a movie, I was like, "This is just a better Expendables. It's Expendables 4," and then it's like this. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, you
Full
actually
circle.
did.
Welcome to the Roshambros extended universe. We called it.
They're all linked.
Yeah, they're all linked. Everything is literally.
Mostly by
links in the description.
Mostly by a timed schedule that progresses throughout the year.
Warner Brother confirms that there's a new Lego movie coming out in 2018.
Lego 2.
Lego 2?
Oh.
I still
They've
haven't seen the
already-
first one. So.
They already kind of come. Yeah, didn't they just like show the title?
Yeah, it's show title. I don't really care anymore. Like the first Lego movie was really, really good. And
Then you hated Batman and didn't care for Ninjago.
I didn't really like Lego Batman either.
they're just boring.
I haven't watched Lego Ninjago though.
I want to watch all these movies.
Ninjago is fun to me just because, like, I think Ninjago's jokes hit a lot
Weeaboo.
more. No, it has nothing to do with
Is
Asian culture.
Ninjago on Netflix or Hulu or any of these streaming services
I don't
yet?
think so. But like I said, like I was talking about, still my favorite line from Ninjago is Dave Franco's like, "What element am I? Am I fire? Am I ice? Am I water? What about the element of surprise?" And Jackie Chan's like, "No, that's the fuchsia ninja." And then the fuchsia colored ninja just shows up and he's like, "Surprise!" and then disappears.
Wasn't that in the commercials?
No.
Or the trailers or whatever? Are you sure? I vaguely recall a ninja just coming up and going like, "Surprise!"
No, I think we showed you a scene. But yeah, no, that's probably the only one that like made me go, "Ha, that's really funny." Whereas Lego Batman, I just was like, "All right, you're trying to make this like social breakdown of why Batman's Batman, I guess." And like, I never really liked Batman to begin with.
I don't know if it's anything like the Lego games, which I enjoy even to this day.
Lego Star Wars forever.
Then I'll fucking enjoy the humor, no matter how dumb it is. Because at least in a Lego thing, I'm like, yeah, it's all going to be dumb humor for the most part. And if it's not, it'll genuinely surprise me.
So Mark Wahlberg's $6 billion man, guys, got pushed back to June 2020. Oh no.
We're only at $4 million. They can't make it yet.
Billion.
Billion?
Yeah, $6 billion man.
What?
He's the $6 billion man.
Good Christ.
Who apparently the tracksuit must be like an extra $5 million fucking dollars because I don't know what expansions they put on him.
Vibranium.
It is on Hulu, but you have to watch it with HBO add-on.
Fuck.
Oh, I have HBO, so I can just watch it whenever.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh. Talk.
Paramount sets 2019 release date for Rocket Man, the upcoming biographical pic of Elton John, starring Taron Egerton from Kingsman
Rocket Man.
as Elton John.
Burning down his fuse of hero.
I'm not surprised.
But first, we
Also,
must watch Bohemian
I don't
Rhapsody.
like that song. So
Yeah.
it can go fuck itself.
Warner Brothers Animation will adapt George R.R. Martin's medieval fantasy children's novel Ice Dragon. So there won't be any tits, but more dragons.
Alright.
Is tits a selling point with you for dragons?
It's a George R.R. Martin thing.
The George R.
But
Martin
The
selling
guy who
point.
created Game of
Yeah,
Thrones.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that's the
No,
fucking
I
joke,
get
Gil.
it. But is tits really the selling point when there's dragons?
If you... Okay,
To be
the
fair,
fucking...
the first like 3 seasons of that show are just like, yeah, there's dragons, but you don't really care. They're not relevant.
Why don't you care about dragons?
Because they're
'Cause
big
they're-
fucking lizards. I couldn't
With
give a
wings.
Right. So I was trying to make a joke, and Gil's looking at it fucking literal. So, Transformers movie franchise may be coming to an end as Transformers 7 was pulled off of the
I thought it came to an end after whatever.
was pulled
the last
off
one
of the
was.
catalog.
I
for
always think it comes to an end,
Transformers release date.
but somebody fucking goes to these movies. Fucks my day hard.
I feel like it's Kien. It's probably Kien.
God, I know
Maybe
I know you
you
went
need
to
to
one of
review
them,
them.
so I think you drug Max along.
No, Ryan and I went to review
Okay.
Transformers the last night,
I knew it was one of you.
and Ryan just freaked out for like 30 minutes.
I hated that movie because all the previews I saw always had the medieval shit, and I was like, okay, this looks cool. And it was like, this is actually a Transformers movie. And I was like, fuck me. And it happened like 5 times too. Where I'd be like, oh, this looks interesting, and it'd be like, oh, fucking Optimus Prime, and it'd be like, oh, god damn it, they're just fucking with me over here.
The
Pissing me
last
off.
report reveals Netflix has spurred Disney to become the world's most valuable media company with a market cap of $161 million. Good job. Good on you, Netflix. Fuck
No.
Disney sometimes.
Sometimes.
It turns out we get sued.
Yeah, probably. And the biggest paid TV providers has lost more than 300,000 customers in 2018 alone because of streaming services.
Believe it.
So that's very
One of
interesting.
them was my parents.
Well, that's good.
I hooked them up a Roku.
Well, thanks guys for listening. Have a good day. Later.
Bye.
Bye.